Eden. Not long ago, just yesterday when the earth was still warm from creation, the Timucua named the land Alachua out of admiration. Alachua, 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 where sweet waters ripple, rivers rise and sink, where we sing songs on the Santa Fe and bask in crystal clear springs. Alachua. And so there are others, fathers and mothers called to the greater collective. Alachua, Archer, Gainesville, Hawthorne, High Springs, La Crosse, Micanopy, Newberry, Waldo, because we know together we are an elegant tapestry, a beautiful place, an Eden of the South, where in the moment Bo Diddley's his sister Hazel and Tom Petty's his brother, Willie Green's blues, and all the other expressive hues. Alachua, where we hike and we bike and we explore divine trails, all to discover how it feels in a forest full of fireflies. Oh, the awe of beauty and wonder. Alachua, where each day we are called to witness the glory of the sun as it beckons orange in a sea of blue above the vast prairie run, and the rays tilt to heaven's perspective, and the golden day glistens and the sawgrass listens to the cattails telling the cypress trees, swaying in the slow evening breeze, and gators growl, and gators growl, and gators chomp, and gators do what gators do in the gators' swamp, and we fare, and we fare, and we festival, and we dance alive while the symphony plays in the great hall chamber. A ballerina leaps from a cloud above the hippodrome, and the ovations stand as innovation and tech hold tight our clever hand, and art speaks in all its many sacred tongues conceived at the angle of beauty achieved in the wild spaces and the public places where nature and culture meet.
Hello, I'm your Alachua County Manager, Michelle Lieberman. I'm honored to report on Alachua County's accomplishments, goals, and challenges. This report deals mainly with external services provided directly to citizens. But without our internal services departments, divisions, and personnel, these direct services would not be possible. The staff in information and telecom services, budget and fiscal services, facilities, human resources, communications, equal opportunity, equity and outreach, and emergency management are the unsung heroes that support everything we do. And because she doesn't seek the spotlight or the video camera, I will share the accomplishments of your other charter officer, County Attorney Sylvia Torres. She and her staff continue to provide expert legal advice to the Commission and staff. From code enforcement and environmental protection to loss prevention, mitigation, and planning, the legal team is integral to everything we do. Last year, the Attorney's Office was vital in projects such as the operations agreement for the Sports Events Center, the ballot and ordinance language for the infrastructure surtax, the purchase agreement for the Budget Inn, the solid waste collection agreement renewal, and the reorganization of CareerSource. In addition, Ms. Torres and her staff provided essential legal support to the Federal Emergency Rental Assistance Program and the American Rescue Plan Act initiatives. Alachua County, the nation, and the world are still feeling the effects of COVID-19. This time last year, I reported on the continued challenges of the pandemic, and the Delta variant was becoming dominant. While people are continuing to be impacted by this virus, we are grateful that, unlike last year, we are not seeing a corresponding percentage of hospitalizations, serious illnesses, and fatalities. We will continue to monitor, react, and communicate as COVID data comes in. Before hearing from my department directors, I want to share the single most difficult operational challenge we currently face. Every department director has spoken to me about the enormous hurdles in hiring and retaining employees. This is not just a county government issue. It is across the board in the private and public sectors. We have witnessed dramatic accounts in the media about the effects of these labor shortages. We are all struggling to find our equilibrium in this new reality. One thing is sure, business as usual is not going to move us forward. We must explore every tool. These tools include competitive compensation, remote working, an inspiring and welcoming workplace, and the right work-life balance. I'm determined to use these and other tools to move this organization forward. While it's important to acknowledge challenges, it is equally important to celebrate the many accomplishments of our dedicated staff.
In our Animal Resources and Care Department, we maintain a 90% live release rate and took in and cared for 3,174 homeless, abused, and abandoned animals. We engaged the national nonprofit Dogs Playing for Life to train our staff and volunteers to safely and effectively match dogs based on their play styles, put larger groups together for exercise and socialization, and utilize these sessions to evaluate and improve canine behaviors. With the help of our Parks Department and Boy Scout volunteers, we created a dog walking trail through the woods surrounding our facility. We continue our partnership with the UF College of Veterinary Medicine and their shelter medicine clerkship to help train future animal care professionals. We work with an architectural consultant who specializes in animal shelter design to create a needs assessment for a new facility. And now we are working on site selection, acquisition, and beginning the A&E for a new facility. We are committed to making operational improvements and implementing departmental policies and procedures that will raise the quality of care for our animals and the quality of service to our citizens. We face serious capacity challenges at our shelter. The supply of animals coming in is overwhelming the demand from adopters. We hear the concerns of the Commission, and citizens and shelter staff shares those concerns. We are taking the initial steps toward an adequate facility. We have updated our procedures and created an Animal Welfare Advisory Committee. We hope the many residents, members of animal welfare organizations, and our staff and volunteers will engage with the new committee and each other in the spirit of renewed cooperation and openness to new ideas on facilitating adoptions.
This is the Southwest 8th Avenue Extension project that was actually also together with the Southwest Extension Connector. This project has opened up this area for this community. We have added sidewalks, we have added reflectorized beams when it comes to the crossings, and we're in the process now also of considering additional safety improvements for the crosswalk. We also have a 5-acre pond working with the community. We added sidewalks around the pond, and it's now also a recreational area for the community. Road and Bridge has completed the improvements of the stormwater that was authorized by the Board of County Commissioners in September of last year. It's approximately 3 miles of buried permanent discharge pipe in the legacy flooding areas, plus installation of permanent pumping stations at locations like Hills of Santa Fe, 98th Street, Pine Hills, Fletcher's Mills, Robin Lane, and Hayes Glen. And we continue to make improvements on our pumping operations and our overall readiness when we are activated for hurricanes. Road and Bridge has been able to do the paving and construction of the parking lot in Coscahuila Park. We have completed County Road 219A paving project. That was approximately 7 miles of roadway projects. In the process of doing that, we also improved driveways and drainage for the traveling public. As far as future projects go, we are concentrating our efforts in safety. And we have applied for quite a few grants through the federal government for safety projects around the county.
Coming out of COVID, Alachua County Fire Rescue really experienced a significant increase in the service delivery demand all throughout Alachua County. We were able to place in service the Lucas device. The Lucas device is an automatic chest compression device. It's proven to increase survivability of those patients by maintaining continual chest compressions throughout the duration of a cardiac arrest event. The other piece of equipment that was added was the Stryker Power Load System. This Power Load System eases the ability to place a patient on a stretcher in the back of one of our rescue units. For our building construction projects, we were also able to secure an architectural and engineering firm along with a construction company that will help us in building the next 4 fire stations for the future of Alachua County Fire Rescue. And finally, the commission funded an assistant chief's position. This is the first addition to the command staff of Alachua County Fire Rescue in over 15 years. There's a lot of goals that we have for this next fiscal year. One, our operational efficiency study. We've hired an outside organization to come in and take a look at Alachua County Fire Rescue from top to bottom to make sure that it's being run as efficiently and effectively as possible. We also hope to continue our accreditation for our ambulance services. CAS accreditation is something that's known nationwide as the gold standard for the accreditation of your EMS services through the ambulance services that you provide. The third goal that I want to highlight for you this year is the pursuit of our urban search and rescue team. This will be a statewide recognized team, and we've invested over $150,000 for equipment and training of these employees so that they can be specifically trained in this discipline.
In our Water Resource Division, we've had a lot of grants completed and we continue to work on them. One of them is the Turf Swap program that gives rebates to citizens that want to remove permanent irrigation. We've had the Aquifer Awareness Campaign, as well as a fertilizer education grant and a springs research project as well. We've released 21 water-wise education videos as well. We've also built and constructed a weir on Little Hatchet Creek that's going to help reduce nutrient concerns at Noonan's Lake. We've collected 554 tons of hazardous materials and increased our recycling of latex paint, bulbs, batteries, and electronics. We've released and adopted the countywide natural resource protection ordinance, and then we've also put on 2 community outreach programs for climate issues through the Environmental Protection Advisory Committee and the Citizen Climate Advisory Committee as well. In our petroleum program, we've had 830 inspections for our petroleum storage tanks compliance program, which actually covers 16 counties. We're going to continue to move forward on our climate strategies, and that includes the very comprehensive vulnerability analysis work that we're working on as well. In addition to that, we are hoping to install a new nutrient treatment system for our septic system at the Santa Fe Boat Ramp Park, and come back with dock regulations to help improve the process for getting docks placed on our lakes and rivers.
Alachua County applied for and was the recipient of Emergency Rental Assistance Program funds from the United States Treasury. The county received over $18 million during the past year to assist our residents with past due rent and utilities, as well as being able to assist them going forward for up to 15 months. The Alachua County Crisis Center is currently preparing for the implementation of 988. 988 is the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline that will go into effect in July of 2022. In 2020, Alachua County voters approved the creation of an Affordable Housing Trust Fund. Commissioners have provided initial funding for staff to develop pilot programs to demonstrate the use of this fund. Alachua County's Division of Social Services is in the 3rd year of a permanent supportive housing program development. The Board of County Commissioners provided $1.5 million this year to assist our most vulnerable homeless individuals.
This past year, we updated our Unified Land Development Code to implement the recently updated Comprehensive Plan. Another thing that we did this year was redistricting the county commission districts to keep even populations within all of the county commission districts. Something else we've done this year is continue on with our Citizen Serve implementation. This year we have added public works permitting and lien searches, and now we are testing live development review and the planning functions of Citizen Serve. Our permitting system will allow the public to access a property and see what's happening from beginning to end. We are working with the equity manager, focusing on our outreach and how we address equity in our comprehensive plan. We are also looking at affordable housing. We're working with Community Support Services and the Sustainability Office, our new SEEDS office, to work on kind of a three-pronged approach to affordable housing. And the part that growth management is working heavily on is the rental permitting program, modeled after the City of Gainesville's program. Our biggest challenge is the high population growth we're experiencing, and a lot of building permitting, a lot of development review, a lot of projects going up. By 2030, we'll have 310,000 people in Alachua County, and our big challenge with that is to maintain the community and maintain the natural resources while allowing for development to continue and places for people to live, work, and play to be developed.
It was an eventful year for the Countywide Truth and Reconciliation Committee's efforts. 3 historical markers to the victims of lynchings were installed, 3 racial justice essay contests were held, and 4 soil collection events were also held. The County Commission is moving forward with a sculpture honoring Dr. Patricia Hilliard Nunn on the west lawn of the County Administration Building.
I'm standing in the Alachua County Sports Event Center at Celebration Point as we prepare for the topping off ceremony. Alachua County's public-private partnership with Celebration Point in the building and operation of this facility is a game changer for our region. It will have an estimated $77 million annual economic impact on our county and create 1,100 jobs, which will provide $25.9 million in yearly wages. The center will bring in 117,000 hotel room nights yearly, with over $12 million in hotel spending, and generate $1.2 million in annual sales tax and $600,000 in yearly bed tax. When the Sports Center opens in early 2023, it will be a premier destination for hosting indoor track and field events, cheerleading, mat sports, basketball, volleyball, and other sports. This facility will be competitive with sports tourism operations regionally, nationally, and internationally. It will also be an excellent venue for trade shows, conventions, and conferences. The county is providing $30 million from the tourist development tax, paid by visitors to the county, to construct the $38 million facility. Celebration Point is providing $5.7 million, and the state of Florida $2.3 million through an appropriation request submitted by Senator Keith Perry and Representative Chuck Clemens. Celebration Point will operate the center and is building a $15 million, 1,235 space parking garage right next door.
Over the last year, we completed the Alachua County Marketing and Expenditure Plan. This was approved by the Tourist Development Council in 2021, and it sets the roadmap for the delivery of over 80 million advertising impressions via billboards, print, broadcast, radio, digital, and more. We were so thrilled to return to normal operations at the Alachua County Agriculture and Equestrian Center, with the celebration of the ribbon cutting and the renaming of the covered arena for former Alachua County Commissioner Lee Pinkoson. Visit Gainesville Alachua County was awarded a $200,000 EDA grant from Visit Florida. With our $50,000 match, we had $250,000 of advertising for our in-state digital campaign. With our 2 new recent hires, we're working on sales plans to draw in more meetings and conventions, because we know that the return of in-person meetings is crucial to the recovery of our industry. We're so excited to welcome new properties to the market, including the upcoming Hyatt Place in downtown Gainesville. Our challenge, like always, is to draw more consumers and business professionals to the marketplace. The more visitors who come to our county, the better economic impact for all.
"2021 was a very active year for our program. We started with the purchase of the 1,251-acre Bee Tree Creek Preserve. This was followed by the 80-acre Warney property in Watermelon Pond, and then the 236-acre Lundgren Preserve on the Santa Fe River. In the fall, we closed on the 293-acre Jefferson Preserve at Lake Alto, and right before the end of the calendar year, we were able to close on the 2,200-acre Hitchcock Conservation Easement. In terms of stewardship, the first highlight we had last year was the opening to the public of this beautiful Turkey Creek Preserve. We also carried on some important stewardship activities, including 1,300 acres of prescribed burning and the monitoring or treatment of 3,000 acres of invasive exotic plants. Our arboriculture program planted about 200 trees in priority areas with the help of 279 hours of volunteer labor. Among our goals for this year are to close on 2 properties that we recently put under contract. The first is the Santa Fe River Brown Conservation Easement. This is an almost 300-acre piece of property on the Santa Fe River adjoining the Lundgren Preserve. We also recently acquired a contract on the Alachua Creek Brown property. Plans for our stewardship program include opening the Buck Bay Preserve to public use and also completing plans for opening the Four Creeks Preserve and the Black Lake Preserve for public use.
Some of the accomplishments we finished last year, we revamped our department's website and made it more user-friendly. We completed the Poe Springs Boardwalk and Kayak Launch project renovations. We completed the Cuskawilla Pool renovations, and we actually facilitated our first summer camp at Cuskawilla last summer, which accommodated 400 kids. And then we actually replaced the playground at Grove Park. Some of the goals we have for this upcoming year are to finish the park's master plan, which is in process at the moment, and it should be done by September, October. We would like to finish the renovations at Cuskawilla. We are going to replace and put new restrooms at Lake Alto, Lake Santa Fe, and at Poe Springs. Some of the challenges that we have are trying to facilitate the operations of overnight camping here at Cuskawilla and getting the park open to the public.
Last year, our major accomplishment was the ability to maintain our services in the middle of the pandemic and the labor shortages that were happening nationwide. Last year, here at the Levita Brown Environmental Park, we managed 200,000 tons of solid waste, 20,000 tons of recyclables, and 500 tons of hazardous waste. We were also able to increase some of our routine services. For example, we are doing more mobile collection events of hazardous waste, and we're also trying to improve our outreach and communication with the smaller cities. Next year, we're going to be working on 3 major projects. The first one is right here, the Levita Brown Transfer Station. This is the tipping floor. This is the heart of our department. And the floor is the original one from 1998. So we're going to be doing some major repairs at this facility. We're going to be working on the procurement of a new waste collection contract. This new contract is going to include commercial and residential waste, and we are planning to award this new agreement in October of this year. And we're also going to keep working on the developing of the zero waste goals of the county, targeting our partnerships with the private sector and the non-for-profits through the Eco-Loop and through the waste reduction grant.
I would like to share some of our accomplishments and this year's goals and challenges moving forward. Our clients performed over 21,000 hours of court-ordered community service. The court appearance rate of clients released to pretrial supervision has averaged 95%. We completed 100% of pretrial risk assessments on qualified detainees prior to first appearance. We continue our preparations for accreditation for pretrial services and our META and OPUS substance abuse programs. We are in the planning phases of developing a new court services complex to enhance our operational footprint. We are pursuing the implementation of an electronic health record to improve data quality and clinical management of our treatment programs. Addressing mental health concerns within the criminal justice system will require a collaborative effort with key stakeholders.
We're here at the former Alachua County Fairgrounds, just to the south of the airport. Behind me, you can see the 81st Readiness Division continuing their work on the equipment concentration site. This site will hold equipment that helps the Army Reserve meet their resiliency requirements and meet their mission in the southeastern United States. The jobs here will be for heavy diesel mechanics. Just 3 miles to the north, at our now branded Eco-Loop project, we hope to have our first groundbreaking ceremony in the next few months. The Eco-Loop represents a waste-based industry approach to reaching the county's zero waste goals in the community. Going forward, we're going to be implementing more of our food system work in the community, including the work for the Healthy Corner Store project in the East Gainesville area. $75,000 was distributed this past year to support emergency food assistance in the community that has helped over 3,000 people. Our goals include the full implementation of the United States Department of Energy DOE LEAP program, which will include the Empower grant, which will help energy-burdened communities in the East Gainesville area. In August, we'll begin work on the Airport Gateway project. Our first phase will be analysis of this area for increasing the economic development opportunities.
And we're here today in front of our new facility, our Alachua County Extension Office, as well as our auditorium. So this year, our objectives are to increase our programming in the county in the areas of agriculture, family, youth, consumer science, and 4-H youth development. And we hope that one of the ways we're going to increase this programming and bringing that research-based information out to the citizens of Alachua County is with our new facilities. We have a state-of-the-art kitchen where we can do a lot of nutrition programs. We also can use that state-of-the-art kitchen and auditorium for our 4-H youth development programs, as well as our agricultural programs, livestock programs, as well as our Master Gardener volunteer programs. We've so far had about 80 programs, that's educational programs here in our auditorium. Another accomplishment this year was our Alachua County Youth Fair and Livestock Show. This is the second year we've held it at the Ag and Equestrian Center here, but this year we were also able to use the auditorium, which we were able to use it for demonstration purposes for the youth. We also used it for our 4-H awards program.
CareerSource is a local regional workforce development board for Alachua and Bradford counties. Due to restructuring and reorganization to become compliant with state regulations, we became a department of Alachua County July 1st of 2021. CareerSource received a state-level We Always Get There Faster grant for $893,000 to serve local at-risk citizens by providing industry-recognized rapid credentialing in the IT field. This grant is targeted to train those that are low or no skilled, low income, or that have other barriers to employment. Through a partnership with Santa Fe College and the University of Florida, we will provide certification in Microsoft Office, IBM Data Security, Google Analytics, and other courses. We have also built in a component for on-the-job training, which will place the program participant directly into employment when they complete their training. This is just one of the programs we have available to help individuals find employment and also to help local businesses grow and be successful by helping them find the talent that they need.
We have so much to be proud of, and we are poised and ready to tackle the challenges that lie ahead.